Hey guys. So I got a comment on my last video about what I would tell my 10-year-old self. And it was from a young viewer, and I wanted to, I guess, address young people in addiction because it's something that I don't think gets discussed enough. But for a lot of people, addiction began at a young age. And so just to that person that left a comment, thank you. And I'll try to do my best to answer your questions. So I think the best way to do that is with my own story and then just kind of pick out of that what is relevant to you, and perhaps your takeaway will lead you to the answer. Because you asked for advice, and I don't know that I can give you advice per se, but I figure a story will be more helpful to you. So you mentioned you were 15. I started drinking when I was 15, and there was a myriad of reasons for that. Part of it was I'd been dealing with an undiagnosed mental illness for as long as I can remember, just feeling really depressed, and at other times feeling really anxious. And what I didn't know at the time was it was rapid switching bipolar, and with really pretty mild manic episodes. And we're talking early 90s here, so early to the mid 90s, and there just wasn't the supports in the schools the way that there is now. And so like I went to my guidance counselor, but she did the best she could, but she wasn't trained for what I was dealing with. And we're talking like at that point in time, giving young people, adolescents, teens, mental health medications was kind of unheard of. They just didn't do that. And they would just chalk it up to saying, like, I'm feeling depressed. I'm feeling anxious. I feel like I don't belong here. I feel like I'm not myself. They're like, oh, it's just growing pains. Grow out of it. And I didn't grow out of it. And I think that even still, I think that young people's problems and their challenges are largely ignored. I think it's only until recently, and it's because of extreme undertakings by people to be noticed, is that it's finally being addressed. But I want to get back to some of the other reasons why I think I started drinking. Part of it was undiagnosed mental illness and self-medication, but a part of it's the culture. The adults around me, that's how they dealt with everything, is by drinking. And it's pretty common where I live. You drink for a bunch of reasons. You drink because you're happy, you drink because you're sad, you drink because you had a hard day at work, you drink because you're mowing the lawn. It's very prevalent here. And part of that, I think, is learning. I learned that is how most adults deal with stress and deal with anxiety and deal with depression. And that became part of my behavioral repertoire. And you're more likely, I think, to engage in substance use to deal with issues as you're growing up. If the adults around you are doing exactly the same thing. Like my mother was largely detached from us. She has an undiagnosed mental illness, and to this day, I don't speak to her because it's always going to be a toxic conversation. And the best that I can do for her right now is feel sorry for her. But so I think that is largely part of it, is being disconnected from a parent. My father was largely absent because he had to work. He was supporting 3 kids and a wife. And he did pretty well. I mean, he worked a lot of overtime, but he always managed to make events like concerts and sporting events when he could. And those are the things that I really remember about my childhood is my dad. And my dad's always been a support. I live with him. He's always been a good support in my life, but that wasn't enough. A big part, I think, of why I fell into addiction so early too is that my last 2 years of high school, I quit everything and isolated and drank on the weekends. And I used to show up to Monday morning to class with a little bit of a hangover. And I think, I mean, I don't think anybody suspected anything. And I wasn't talking about it. I tried to talk to my guidance counselor, but she really couldn't help me. And it just persisted on. I joined the military just to get the heck out of here. And hopefully, I went all the way across the country. I went to California from New York just to get away from here because I thought that maybe that was the solution to the problem was to just get as far away from here as I possibly could. But my problems followed me because wherever you go, there you are. And as much as I've tried to run for myself, I ran for myself for 44 years. And you don't want to be 44 trying to figure stuff out. So if you're a young person watching this, it's best that you get it now. Find somebody that you can talk to. I'm glad that you guys are getting stuff out of my videos. That's why I'm doing these videos. But I wanted to make one especially for you guys because I've been there and it took me a long time to figure it out. And it's better that you figure it out now than to be my age trying to figure it out. I wish you all the best, guys. And again, feel free to leave a comment. I do try to get back to everybody as much as I can. Anyway, I'll talk to you later, guys. Bye.